Welcome back. On today's episode, 5 fragrances strictly for the true frag heads. Keep it locked. Let's get it. Pow. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm your host, Bottles and Beers. Today we're going to be speaking on some fragrances that they're not going to be too appealing to everyone. This one is truly for the guys and gals that's deep into fragrances, not no beginners, because some of this stuff might rub people the wrong way, but for the most part, they strictly different style fragrances for more mature noses. Let's get right into it. We're gonna start with a fragrance that actually, this one's not really unlikable, should I say, to a lot of people. I think people would like this one, but don't spray too much of it. It's very different, very potent, from the house of Frederick Malle, from their Desert Gems collection. We have Promise. So with this one, actually, this is my scent of the day. With this one, guys, this is a very potent, bold statement maker. For the most part, you get a oody nature to it, but strangely enough, there's no oud listed into the breakdown of this. I would categorize this as a smoky, not vibrant. It's a very dark, but with a green undertone to it. Very spicy. You get lots of clove. I believe it's the cypriol that give it that smoky nature that also kind of reminds you of oud. But when I say it's potent, it's definitely potent. This is a boss style fragrance. Very attention grabbing. The projection on this is monstrous. I mean, you will fill up a room. So no more than 2 sprays. I mean, max 3. Me personally, 2 is well enough. A lot of times I would buy a 50 ml of a fragrance and I would actually love that fragrance and wish that I had 100 ml. This was the complete opposite. This, I'm glad I got a 50 ml because there is no way I'm going to go through all this juice. For one, I'm not going to wear this all the time. This is not an everyday wear. This is when you commanding attention. And again, with 2 sprays max, for me, this probably will last me my lifetime. So with that being said, again, it's a dark, resinous, smoky, earthy scent with a green undertone and it's like a smoky apple note in this. It's a gorgeous scent, guys. Very, very, very vibrant. It will fill up the room. Check it out. I would get a sample if you can, because this is not cheap. It's definitely more on the expensive side, but I think you'll love it. Again, from the house of Frederick Malle, we have Promise. Next up, we have from the house of Parfum the Empire, we have Wazamba. All right, so this one here, you get some apple, some fern, some sandalwood. This one is like a smoky, resinous fragrance. It has like an oily type of texture to it as far as the smell is concerned, at least on the opening. This one definitely is a standout. It don't really strike me as a fragrance that people would think is made for something to put on skin. Even though I do enjoy this because it does stand out. It does smell. It smells like this is supposed to bring a delightful scent to something other than your actual body. But for the most part, it's still likable. It's very different. I wouldn't call it a compliment getter. And it'll mainly stand out because of how different it is. It's a smoky, creamy. It has a creamy feel to it. There is an apple note in here as far as the undertone, but for the most part, I get mainly incense, myrrh, apple, and plum. Again, this is a very different fragrance. I do enjoy it, but not necessarily for everyone. Definitely get a sample if you can. Now, for the price point of this, I'm not gonna kid you. Blind buying wouldn't be a bad idea, only to the true frag heads. I want to stress this a lot in this video. These are fragrances for frag heads. Like, this is something that you can't be new to and jump right in and then get in the comments saying that I led you down the wrong path. I enjoy this scent. I believe a lot of other enthusiasts would enjoy this scent. I don't think everybody would like it. They might like how it smells on someone else, but they might be hesitant to put it on themselves. Again, from the house of Parfum the Empire, that was Zamba. Right, moving on to the next one, from the house of Nobile or Nobile 1942, we have Rudis. All right, so reading the backstory of this, I'm not going to preach what the backstory is to it, but if you get a chance, probably read the story on this before purchasing, because that story makes sense. Let's just say Coliseum fighting is in that story. But with this one, it gives the feel of let's think the movie Gladiator. That's what you get from this. It has a very like bloody fight mentality type of scent to it. What I mean by that is very rugged, almost harsh, but in a smooth way. I like to describe it as, picture getting a vintage bottle of red wine, pouring that wine on to like a leather couch, and sitting that leather couch in 100-degree weather with the sun beaming down on it. That's what I get from this. Or even just a mechanic working up under the car. A mechanic working under the car. That's kind of what this smells like. Now, I know you're wondering, why would you want to smell like that? You probably don't. But again, this is for enthusiasts when you want something different. It's a smoky, rough textured scent. It almost smells kind of plasticky, with artificial dried fruits. I believe you get some grapes, some myrrh, some resins, lots of leather. I want to say plum is in this. I could be wrong, but I do know dried fruits is one of the notes, and grapes. You do get some vetiver in this also, but again, the way this is blended, it's not necessarily smooth. It's more rough than anything, but it keeps drawing you back. You keep wanting to smell it again, probably strictly on the fact that you want to know why. Why and what is this smell? It's very unique. It does project heavily, so I would, again, watch your sprays on this. Do not look for compliments on this one. You might get a lot of people asking what it is you're wearing, and that's strictly because they're curious and they might want to know, so they will not buy this one. But again, for the frag heads, for the enthusiasts, it's probably something you want to check out, from the house of Nobile or Nobile 1942, Rudis. All right, we're getting close to the end. Next up on the list, from the house of Xerjoff, we have Alexandria 2 Anniversary Edition. Look at that bottle. I really, really love this bottle. Gorgeous bottle. But as far as the fragrance, do I like it? First off, yes. Will I say that it's better than the OG or the original Alexandria 2? No. And that would strictly be because of the heavy cumin note in this one. So with this, you get some Bulgarian rose, cumin, vanilla, orris, I believe. There's a lot of notes to this one, but mainly what sticks out to me, civet and cumin. With the cumin, or should I say cumin, whatever, however you pronounce it, it has that musty BO smell that I hear people describe what they get from cumin, and This is probably the very first fragrance that I have, that I purchased, that I actually understand that sentiment. Because a lot of the other ones that has the cumin note in it, I didn't get the BO smell. With this one, it's an overdose of it. With that being said, would everybody like this one? Absolutely not. Is it challenging to wear? Yes. Surprisingly enough, my wife actually complimented this one, but she picked out that cumin note immediately. I mean, she do a lot of cooking, so it was the first thing she said, which struck me kind of odd, because I mean, who pulls out a note that quick, especially if they're not a frag head, like most of us are. Anyway, oud, sandalwood, musk, orris, all the notes that's in here compiled. I do like the way that it was blended. It does have that Xerjoff stitch to it, and it smells very elegant. A very elegant, more like a ballroom type of fragrance. It's definitely not an everyday wear. You could pull it off casually. Just, again, I have to stress this enough: do not overspray. Overspraying any of these fragrances can definitely it can turn to not be appealing to a lot of people. So watch your sprays on this. But if you want a classy, more sophisticated dress up style of a fragrance, but you also want it to be different and attention grabbing, definitely try this one. Xerjoff Alexandra 2 Anniversary Edition. All right, and to end the video, we're gonna go with, from the house of Amouage, another bottle that I absolutely love. So this one I have featured a few times on this channel, strictly because Amouage is a more popular house as far as the fragrance community is concerned. Very highly respected house, but Honor Man doesn't get the love that I think that it should get, and that's just my opinion. So with this one, pepper. This is a pepper bomb. Black pepper, pink pepper, all the above. But that's the main note you're going to get out of this. Very spicy, but even though it's spicy, there's a freshness with this. You get some elemi, some resins, I believe some cedar wood is in this also. It's very woody, very musky, but it's a bright freshness that runs with that pepper. Very elegant. I absolutely love this one. To me, it works well in the wintertime, though I have seen people, the few people that have talked about it, they lean more springtime, I believe, which I'm not understanding why. To me, this works perfect in the wintertime, but to each his own. This is one that I have to say, again, is strictly for the true frag heads. I don't believe everyone really wants to walk around smelling like pepper, because that's what you're going to get with this. Very spicy, but fresh at the same time. Walking past another enthusiast, I guarantee they're going to ask, what is that you're wearing? Because it does have an attractiveness to it. It's definitely more of a sexy, masculine style of a fragrance. One that I tend to reach for quite often, honestly. With that being said, from the house of Amouage, one that I definitely think you should get your nose on, all right, that concludes the end of this video. Do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share this video to get the content out to other people that might love this style of content. With that being said, thanks for watching. I'm out.